Bueno, buenas tardes. Esa es la continuación inmediata del video anterior. Ya estamos en la parte final de la expansión, el DLC de Horizon Zero Dawn, llamado The Frozen Wilds. Lo único que nos queda es ir al núcleo del caldero y posiblemente enfrentarnos a esta inteligencia artificial que se ha apoderado de esta instalación llamada Hephaestus. Vamos a ver.
Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
Uy, ¿dónde andan estos? Ah, ok, ya los vi. Ya no puedo agarrar absolutamente nada, estoy pero cargadísimo de cosas. Ok, hice. Oh shit, sorry. Regresé al mismo punto. Ando medio distraído. ¿Dónde están mis chicos? Banuk. Ah, ok. Ok. Supongo que hay que atravesar esto, ¿no? Sin caer y morir calcinado.
Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for?
Oh, crap. Esta es de las porquerías que emite un pulso y le parte el alma a mi traje. Como ya pudieron ver. Maldita torre, ¿dónde estás? Ah, y está en medio. No puedo entrar. Ok, habrá que... Ahí está la bendita torre. Voy a reconfigurarla para que no solo no me ataque, sino me ayude. Listo. Wow. Here we go. Oh my goodness, una versión mejorada. Diablos. Diablos.
New unit that Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us.
Take it down.
Oh, come on. Además tenemos que luchar con estos. Crap. ¿Sabes qué? Voy a usar mi estrategia. Esta porquería. Wow, tranquilo. Estoy disparando con mis flechas telúricas para tratar de quitarle pedazos de su estructura. Creo que la música es apropiada porque es el tema triste de Saint Seiya y es triste lo que nos están haciendo. O sea, no manches, ya le disparé casi todo lo que tengo, no voy a aumentar su vida. ya se molestó.
Another tower! Stop it from repairing the beast!
¿Dónde está la torre? Ok, estas torres, cuando no están a mi favor, restauran la salud de los malos. O sea que realmente no nos conviene ni nos interesa que esa torre restaure a este güey. Te quedas esperando, ¿verdad? Crap. Really? Esquíame. No. Eso. Whoa, what the hell? No creo que fue mala idea cambiar de arma. Otra torre, ¿dónde? ¿Dónde? Ah. Distráiganlo. Eso, no dejen que nada. No podemos. No me quedé sin... Oh, crap, ya me quedé sin... Shit. Ahí está, eres mío. Eso. Ya está.
You spoke of the tower. What must be done with it?
Wow. Demonic Fireclaw. Pude agarrar casi todo. Sabes que yo quiero ese corazón. Oh, no sé qué voy a hacer, pero yo quiero ese corazón. Inventario. Vamos a deshacernos. Acá no puedo. Tiene que ser o modificaciones. No, modificaciones no es el problema. Tengo espacio más que suficiente. Tiene que ser resources. Ok, vamos a soltar esto. No. Ah, ¿qué más puedo botar? ¿Qué más? Ah, demasiado cuerda de esta. Necesito espacio. Esto no me sirve para nada. Oh, no manches, ¿para qué quiero tanto de estos? Igual eso es un exceso. Yo creo que esto es igual. Ah, no, Eco Shell, no, vamos a... Esto igual, demasiado. Bueno, creo que ya debo tener espacio para... Excelente, ahí está, ahora sí.
Whatever you're going to do to that tower,
Do it now. Wait. Estoy recolectando lo que me puede ser útil. Recuerden que todavía falta nuevamente la batalla final, dado que esto en realidad en la línea de tiempo de la historia ocurre antes de la batalla que de hecho ya concluimos. O sea, pero pues eso no es culpa mía. ¿Quién hace un DLC quien hace una expansión que resulta que va antes del final, o sea, no manchen, ¿no? Entonces la verdad eso, primera vez que me sucede y esa es la razón por la que no, pues obviamente acabé primero el juego y después pues hice esto. Finalmente creo que esta es la victoria. Hemos terminado. Así es. Eat dust.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Oh crap. No. Shit, la va a matar.
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility.
Whoa, you better get out of there.
In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free.
Aurea.
You must escape.
Oh no.
My sister!
Damn it.
This entire place is gonna
You
go.
have to get out of here.
Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters?
This is sad, man. So sad.
She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go.
Chinga, y la van a dejar ahí.
Let's go.
Escape. Oh, interesante. Esa es la última misión, no manches. Okay, you don't have to tell me twice. No parece estar muy lejos, pero... Okay, ya.
One of those?
It's the only way.
Oh, no lo voy a lograr. Vamos, Aloy. Son of a gun. Oh crap, they are not gonna make it.
Get me up top, Aratak. Now. I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Banukai!
At little far-fetched, but anyway. Okay, RIP Ourea. Pues parece que lo hemos logrado. Terminamos la expansión, el único DLC que salió de Horizon Zero Dawn. Bien hecho, hija mía.
Ourea is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Ourea's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
Aquí se aplica, let me sing you a song of my people. Let me teach you a song of my people. Wow, 1200 metros, olvídalo. Mejor usemos una fogata de campamento y vayamos rápidamente. Ok, jóvenes, hemos llegado, creo, ahora sí al último. Pues no sé si llamarle al prólogo, porque el final ya ocurrió. Ya matamos al bicharraco y Ourea se tuvo que sacrificar para lograr contener a Hefestos. Vamos, chica. De hecho, aquí la encontramos por primera vez, ¿se acuerdan? Qué relajo para encontrarla, santo Dios.
All of my interactions with Ourea were recorded and stored in my
Ourea.
memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
Wow, eso sí estuvo sad, jóvenes. Muy sad.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
Wow, ¿y por qué? A ver. Talk to Aratak, talk to Cyan.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude
Ni
and
que
a
lo
functioning
digas.
focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another
Whoa.
3,337 years.
So we've
Nice.
got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location. One
Whoa.
I've never been able to trace.
En la torre.
So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly,
Damn.
Do you know what happened to your colleague, Cyan?
no. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Maria said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process. a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds...
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a
Aquí realmente la
quality
pregunta
I
es,
cherish in Aurea as well.
¿de dónde o en dónde rayos está guardado Hephaestus? Y como vimos en el final del juego principal, de la historia principal, pues todavía sigue vivo Hades.
Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control.
¿Qué es lo que logramos
When
hacer
I
al
think
final?
of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across a strange piece of gear. A frag that emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain.
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell. And after that, and may there be no sad when I embark. For though from out the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot when I have But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. Would be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer, In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved.
Ok, ya casi terminamos, pero es que sí realmente quiero aprovechar a ver si la conversación con Cyan arroja algo más de información, ¿no?
She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult, yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. So in the old world, this
Yes, it was
like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project, from my readings...
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan.
Ok, creo que vamos a dejarlo.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CE?
That's him?
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
The benefactor? But he made machines.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one. Were there
Y
many
última
artificial
pregunta.
intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistance to and there were legislative, and in order for my processing to be flexible. As a result, my intellectual and emotional...
Seems strange to create life, then.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Bueno, yo creo que vamos a terminarlo.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Araya.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
Life is hard for the Banuk. Their world is unforgiving in their beliefs. I guess they help to keep them going. So take it easy on them. Try to guide them, bring them around to understanding what you are.
Communion with machines features heavily in the mysticism of the Banuk. I think they will be agreeable to this approach.
As long as they don't end up worshipping you.
Upon consideration, I believe such an experience would be intensely uncomfortable.
You're right about that. Trust me.
I see. I will follow your advice.
Bueno,
Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I
ok.
should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Y por último, ya. Talk to Aratak. Una disculpa, pero es que sí me interesa saber pues qué partes de la historia que no obviamente han sido reveladas estaban en posesión de o eran del conocimiento de Cyan. No fue mucho, pero pues bueno. ¿Dónde está? Ah, ya lo vi. Entonces la verdad sí quería yo hacerle muchas preguntas. ¿Lo salvamos? Yo creo que sí, siempre salven. Y hablemos con Aratak para terminar.
My chieftain,
Just, Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone. and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life.
Está bonito.
Truly, Araya found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, I'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
Está,
A wiser one, for the path we shared.
le está regresando el puesto,
The
el
daemon
mando.
is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, Fire Claws. Now Took has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
¿Ya estuvo entonces?
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste
Whoa.
after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus, all very...
El inútil de Silence, ahí está.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His mind's on their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life, aberrant life, transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there,
Listo.
and they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
Ups. Eso no fue nada amable. Esa interacción. Pero bueno. Entendible. Ya, ok. Esto... Olvídalo. ¿En serio? ¿Todavía sigue esto? Out of the Forge. Kill the Fireclaws. Bueno. A lo mejor esto continúa, pero si les soy honesto, pues yo creo que la historia principal ya acabó. Así que creo que podemos darlo por terminado por el momento. Ya veré yo si cazar estas cosas es relevante. Como pueden ver son 5. Pero pues en realidad se supone que aún sigue la historia principal, ¿eh? O sea, tenemos que ya con mi traje y mi nuevo nivel y todo, creo que sí puede ser mucho más sencillo el final, ¿no? No, pero no, era ir a la ciudad, ¿se acuerdan? A esta, ándale, a esta ciudad. Si no me equivoco, ¿no? Para el enfrentamiento final, ¿no? Pero bueno. Y obviamente confío en que tengo armas nuevas, mejores. Tengo una mayor nivel, obviamente. Y mi armadura, que la verdad está bastante chipocluda. Así que creo que va a ser todo, jóvenes, por el momento. Aloy se despide, como siempre. Yo también. Y pues nos estamos viendo. Pórtense bien. Que tengan una buena tarde de domingo. Amor, si llegas a ver esto, te mando un beso. Te extraño mucho, Gordis. Bueno, que estén bien todos. Nos vemos.